Tes. Halo semuanya, selamat siang. Halo semuanya, selamat siang. Today we gonna live stream Genshin Impact again, as usually. I hope internet is doing alright, so live stream can be good and no lag, of course. We hope so. The way was angry. Oh ya udah, gue udah daily ya dari pagi.
Stabilize. Ha! Ha! Ha!
Strike a pose! Time to shine! Gotcha!
Time for retribution. Ha! Ha!
Mati gue.
Gather.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Ha! Burn.
Burn.
Ha!
Misi udah semua ya. Story ini ya belum dibuka. Ya. Nah kita event story ya. Ini belum mulai kan, baru part yang pertama. I love the way. Ini event story Mawar dan Senapan. Itu baru arc yang pertama. Udah ada 3. lumayan. Ada konten buat di live stream ini jadi. Lucu banget, pedangnya juga ada efek-efeknya. Tuh, ada efek-efek melusin. Ada gambar stiker melusin itu di pedangnya. Tuh, ih lucu. Ini pedangnya dari event ya guys, sekarang bisa dapetin Joyski. Ini sampai R5, R1, 2, 3, 4 sampai full lah. Bentar ada yang tahu.
I still have a lot to do at the guild. How about you take a rest while...
Three? No. Looks like
Lah, bukan di sini anjir. Di bandara datang. Di tempat datang kocak. Di jalur Clementine, nggak baca anjir. Dongol. Kiori cuy.
Miss Chiori?
Your talk with the investor sure went fast. The aquabus hasn't even arrived yet. Oh? And who are they?
Allow me to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise! We've heard the owner of Chioriya Boutique is a skilled seamstress, so it's a real pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Why, thank you. I strove to create an outfit that matched her high social station as the demoiselle. So tell me, what happened? I can tell the conversation didn't go quite as expected.
Well, it's like this.
Ugh.
I know, Chiori, you don't have to say it. You did remind me that this investor was a little bit sketchy.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
But how could I pass it up? He offered me twice as much as the others.
And therein lies the problem.
Yes, but just put yourself in my shoes. After obtaining such an excellent script, it's only natural that I would want to make the most of the film. The budgets that the others had proposed were nowhere near enough. It's difficult to find someone willing to front such a large amount of mora, so...
Don't be sad, Xavier. We might be able to help scrounge up some more together for you.
Oh, thank you, Paimon. That means a lot to me. But the cost of the film is staggering. I'm afraid that any mora we can scrounge together in a short amount of time won't even be able to cover the actors' fees.
We need to move on. What's happened has already happened, and there's no changing it. But now's not the time to give up.
What? You're saying that you have a plan?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm simply saying I wouldn't give up just yet. The actors I recommended aren't just after Mora after all.
Wah, ada Ayato, ada Ayaka cuy. Ada Yomiya, seng.
Really? Then where do you live? We Malazines live in Marisi Village. The only way to enter is from underwater.
Oh, you must be pretty tired after work every day, right? I mean, you have to swim all that way just to go home.
We are so thoughtful. But some Malazines choose to live in the Court of Fontaine because it's so much more convenient.
Ya Ayato cuy.
This is our stop.
Oh, we've arrived, but I haven't even finished chatting with Aval yet. I also enjoyed Aval's introductions to Fontaine along the way. Everything you described was so clear and detailed that we can't help but want to hear more.
Thank you so much. I'm usually working here on this aquabus, so I hope I'll have the chance to see you again. There are still many more places I'd like to introduce to you.
Ih, suka-suka.
Welcome to the Court of Fontaine.
Chiori, you sure have changed a lot. This is the first time we've seen you since you left Inazuma.
I haven't realized it's been so long. I was in such a rush when I left that I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Thank you for extending the invitation, Mr. Xavier. I'm looking forward to a fruitful trip here in Fontaine.
Traveler pasti kaget brutal.
It's an honor to have the head of the Kamisato
Traveler
clan
pasti kaget
visit us.
brutal.
So they are who you meant when you said you had actors coming from Inazuma?
Oh? It's the Traveler and Paimon. Wow, what a coincidence! Ayaka and I were just talking about you on the way here. Are you also here for the film?
We just ran into Xavier earlier and came over with him.
But I'm not an actress. Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka are the real actors here. I'm just tagging along with Ayaka to have a good time together.
Tapi aku nggak bakal main film sih. Tuan dan Nona Kamisato nih bintangnya. Aku cuma nebeng Ayaka aja biar lebih seru.
About that, I mean, how was I supposed to contact you when I was making preparations for the film? I figured you were probably busy, and I didn't want to disturb you. So I could only keep you in the back of my mind while I sought other actors to play the lead roles in the film.
I had been thinking about a surprise reunion with you during our trip here, but you still managed to surprise me first.
Iya.
Oh, so you all know each other already. My, what a coincidence. Why don't we go to Hotel de Boer and catch up over a meal? I've already made a reservation.
Huh? Did you reserve 2 spots for us too?
Yes, of course, of course. I'll be sure to tell the boss to serve a few more delicious dishes just to make sure.
Very well. Then please, kindly lead the way, Mr. Xavier.
Let's go.
Wow, the buildings in Fontaine are so tall. Just look at how big they are. And there's the fountain that Abel mentioned earlier. It really is a magnificent sight. And look at that huge spinning sphere. Where does it get its power? Wait a sec! Could it be one of those clockwork mecha we've heard so much about?
Pergi ke lantai 2 Hotel de Boer.
So this is what food from Fontaine is like. It sure is different from what we have in Inazuma. How should I describe it? It seems like you have to go through a lot more steps to make them. And the flavor has many layers too.
Yes. When I first went to Inazuma, I actually thought the food there tasted a little too bland. It took some time for me to get used to it.
Let's get back to the purpose of this trip for a moment, shall we? How have preparations for the film been coming along, Mr. Xavier?
Well, I've already assembled most of the film crew, a lighting specialist, a prop manager, and a costume designer. I've also bought the copyrights from the novel's author.
Oh, it's called The Two Musketeers, right? I read the script you sent me on the way here. The story is pretty good.
Originally, I was planning to start filming as soon as Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka arrived in Fontaine, but I'm afraid I've run into a bit of a problem.
Oh? What is it?
It has to do with the film's investor, Mr. Morris. He suddenly informed me this morning that he's encountered some financial trouble and will be unable to release to me the amount of funding agreed upon.
It's said that Fontaine's legal system is well developed. If he has violated the contract, then can't you simply take him to court over the matter?
Well, I'm still more concerned about filming. Even if I were to take him to court...
Then, is there a way we could raise funds ourselves?
I've considered that option too, but unfortunately, it's difficult to gather such a large amount of mora on such short notice. Besides, we have to consider the film festival's submission deadline.
Mr. Xavier, If Ayaka and I were willing to perform for free, would that resolve the problem you are currently facing?
What? No, out of the question. To have you come all this way just to act for free? Oh, no, that won't do.
No.
There's no need to worry, Mr. Xavier.
There's no
My
need to
brother and I
worry.
had actually intended to work for free after receiving your invitation. Inazuma has only recently reopened its borders, and needs to strengthen its relations and cultural ties with other nations. We didn't have many collaboration projects with Fontaine in the past, so we hoped this trip would serve as a good start for the future.
Indeed. You could say that's the real reason why the Yashiro Commission agreed to come to Fontaine.
I understand, but having you two act for free just doesn't seem right.
Not at all. While we're officially here to conduct a cultural survey of sorts, we must express our sincerity if we want to establish formal cultural ties with your nation. This film will serve as proof of friendly cooperation and cultural exchange between Inazuma and Fontaine. It's my hope that the film can be finished and released as smoothly as... If you still don't feel comfortable with this arrangement, I would also be more than happy to be introduced to some other renowned individuals in Fontaine's literary and artistic circles.
All right, I'll do as you say. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to cobble together enough mora now, even if it means selling my house, my camera, and every...
Come on now, no need to go that far. I'll also help you out as a brand
Aku mau
sponsor.
aja.
Me too! Even though I didn't bring much more to spend on this trip, it's still better than nothing.
You are too kind, all of you. I really don't know how to...
Sedih.
Ew. Alright, enough about that. Now that we have Xavier's savings, my support, and 2 leads who are so, instead of Mora, you'll help with filming and production.
Oh, but how can we
Alright, pull yourself together, Xavier.
All right. Let me think. We still need a camera operator, a clapper loader, and someone to manage logistics. I originally wanted to personally serve as director, but I've been too busy working as the producer. So the positions of director and
Paimon knows what the director and the logistics support person do, but what's a clapper loader?
The clapper loader is responsible for using the clapper board to record and organize the information of each shot when the camera operator begins shooting. The work requires both patience and careful attention to detail.
A clapper board? Oh, you mean the thing they hold that goes clap whenever they start filming?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Are you interested in that job?
For sure, Paimon's always wanted to try that.
Alright, then you'll be our clapper loader. I can find someone from the store to help with logistics.
Fine by me. As for our camera operator, I was thinking of letting the Traveler take the role.
Oh, he's great when it comes to using a camera. Paimon can't even count how many things we've taken photos of during our journey.
Bisa aja, Paimon.
Yes, that's also what I was thinking. I noticed the Traveler had an eye for photography and composition when...
I'm sure that's due to the traveler's journey across Teyvat and all the places they've seen. After so many adventures, using a camera must be second nature by now.
What do you say, Traveler? Are you interested in the job?
Lamp, camera, action.
Thank you. It really means a
Aye.
lot to me.
Udah
Come
lagi
on, friend.
Jessie ya.
Let me give you a big warm hug.
So all that's left for us to find is a
Oh, me! I want to be the director's assistant! Only need to...
All right, then all we need is a director. Oh, all the well-known directors in Fontaine are probably also busy working on...
Oh, Farina helped out a theater troupe recently by serving as an artistic
Ada Furina.
consultant.
Ada Furina, cek.
Farina? Do you really think Lady Farina would be willing to help us?
Isn't that the name of Fontaine's Hydro Archon? My brother has already informed me about what happened here in Fontaine.
Yep, that's her. She helped out a theater troupe.
Well,
I saw that musical. Her performance was perfect. Don't let her form or identity intimidate you. She's the best candidate we can think of right now.
fine. You're right, Shiori. I'll do anything for the sake of my film. Anything! Then I'll have to ask the Traveler and Paimon to show me the way to Lady Farina's residence.
Do you need us to also come along?
No, there's no need to trouble you with this. Besides, you've just arrived in Font. Just leave this task to me. It's part of my duties as the producer.
Very well. Then we'll be
Very
waiting to
well.
hear the good news.
I'll go with you. By the way, you might want to consider
By the
bringing
way.
a gift.
And don't worry, we won't simply drop you
asik,
off
Cok,
at
bener, Cok.
Farina's place. We know Farina pretty well by now, so having some familiar faces there should help your chances. Besides, the whole thing was our idea in the first place.
All right, then I'll start making preparations. As for the gift,
A gift for someone.
I recall that Lady Farina once fancied a clockwork.
Huh? Can't we just bring some desserts, like the Fontanelia mousse?
But wouldn't that be a little too...
Isn't the Fontanelia festival happening right now? I heard Evil tell us on the Aquabus that Farina introduced the tradition. To do something like that, she must have a real sweet tooth.
I agree with Yoimiya. If the gift is too fancy, it might actually make her feel more uncomfortable.
Alright then, let's go buy some Fontanelia mousse.
But will that really be enough? We'll be asking her to do a...
You're right. We need to further sweeten the deal.
Huh? You want something even sweeter than Fontanelia?
Yes, we'll need a gift that's sweeter than any dessert in the world.
But what could that be?
Your words of praise.
Ujian dari pergi ke apartemen Fred. Kita coba masak ya. Coba masak. Ke cafe. Resep Fontanelia Mouse. Oh ini lucu bikin. Iya. Kurang lagi krimnya, butuh 3 lagi. Memasak. Kita bikinkan yang banyak. Wah, nggak nambah anjir. Kalau berhasil nggak nambah anjir. Satu lagi. Let's go. ke kosan Furina.
We're here! This is where Farina lives.
Okay, I'll go knock on the door.
Coming. Ugh. Seriously, who's knocking before afternoon tea?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Lady Farina, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Xavier, a film director.
Hello. Oh, is that the traveler in Paimon I see behind you? And who's this?
Who's this?
I'm Chiori.
Ah, the one from Chioria Boutique. Hello, hello.
Boutique.
So, what are you all doing here? Do you need something?
Do you
Did
need
you just
something?
get up, Farina? It's already past noon, you know. Huh? Paimon means the weather is so nice in the afternoon and the sun is so warm. Just like how you make us feel. Sleeping in late is a really smart idea.
No. I was just up late last night reading some novels. What does sleeping in have to do with the weather?
This is a small gift we've prepared for you, Lady Farina.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a regular person like everyone else now.
Wow.
Is
Matanya
this
berbinar-binar.
Fontanalia mousse? It's one of my favorites.
That's great! So, actually, there's something we need your help with. Given your renowned passion and understanding of drama, I would like to ask that you serve as the director of our film.
Oh, but didn't you just say...
Yes, but for this particular project, I'm mainly working as a producer. Besides, I'm sure that your understanding...
Are the Traveler and Paimon also part of the
Yes.
film crew?
Yep, we sure are. Paimon's the clapper loader and he's the camera operator.
Camera operator. That can be a pretty technical job, and it directly affects the final quality of the film. Are you really up to it?
Operator kamera itu bukan kerja yang gampang loh. Perlu pengetahuan teknis mendalam, lalu berpengaruh langsung juga ke kualitas akhir filmnya. Yakin bisa?
No, I'm not questioning your abilities. It's just that I've never...
Maybe you can come up with a test for the Traveler and see for yourself. If he can satisfy you with his camera skills, then you'd have nothing to worry about.
You sure are getting better at rolling with the situation, Paimon. Oh, I do wish to see... Alright, how about this? We'll work with what we have. I'll give you some scenarios and see if your work is up to my standards. Very good. It's essential for the camera operator to understand the director's vision. I'll make my decision after seeing your work. Are you ready? I have high standards, you know. Okay, grab the camera and I'll give you a...
Tema syuting yang disutradari oleh Farina. Estelle adalah pemilik Biomed Workshop dan dia selalu membanggakan mesin tempa buatannya. Karena suhu kerjanya bisa diatur dengan akurat dan penempa yang menggunakannya tidak perlu menghabisi tenaga sama sekali. Ayo kita buat video promosi untuk bengkel kerja milik Estelle ini. Ingat untuk menekan kemampuan mesin tempatnya ya. Mulai syuting. Syuting beberapa adegan sesuai dengan persyaratan sutradara dan kompilasikan adegan-adegan menjadi sebuah film. Syarat posisi kamera adalah kunci saat merekam. Kamu juga harus memilih posisi kamera yang sesuai lebih dahulu. Saat merekam, ada sebagian gambar yang dilengkapi dengan persyaratan narasi. Pilih narasi yang paling cocok dengan cerita. Bingkai 1. Persyaratan posisi kamera harus menampilkan pemandangan Beaumont Workshop. pemandangan berarti kita pakai wide shot. Ya, ini ada keterangan shotnya nih di atas ya. Ini medium shot. Ini full shot. Full shot itu berarti kayak mirip-mirip hampir close up. Full shot itu di bawahnya medium. Semakin atas semakin kecil ya. Wide shot dong. Persyaratan posisi kamera harus menampilkan adegan mesin tempat yang sedang beroperasi. Ini dong kita close shot. Posisi kamera dengan jarak foto yang agak dekat dapat menampilkan pergerakan karakter dengan lebih jelas. Namun efeknya terbatas pada menampilkan hubungan antara karakter dan lingkungan sekitar. Persyaratan posisi kamera harus menampilkan adegan suasana saat Estelle bekerja. Ini dong. Harus menampilkan adegan jatuh berbuat. Ini susun dalam kotak. Harus menampilkan pemandangan berbuat workshop. Let's go. Anjay. Apakah berhasil? Anjay. Berhasil.
Oh, it appears that you have more skill than I thought. All the shots had a great composition, and I could really feel a connection to the characters and their lines.
Gue tuh si filmmaker.
Does that mean you agree to be our director,
Aku
Farina?
adalah seorang filmmaker.
Did you think I would agree just like that? After our performance of The Little Oceanid, I've begun to make a name for myself again, you know. In fact, I've already had several troops approach me for the Fontanalia Film Festival. And if others were to find out I agreed to work with you so easily...
Hey, but didn't we have a deal? What else do we need to do to convince you, Farina?
Well,
Huh?
you know
Hah?
how much you're willing to pay me to be the
Why will I
director.
do it? Hah?
The pay is also an important
Huh?
factor for me to consider, you know.
Well, I can offer you this much?
Anjay dibisikin.
What? That's all? If Nervilat were to hear of this, he could charge you with underpaying your labor.
I'm sorry, but our crew is in a tight finance.
I see. Well, even though it's highly unlikely now that I'll join your crew, there's still something I'd like to ask. Exactly what film are you planning to make?
Oh, our script is an adaptation of The Two Musketeers.
Huh? Wait, you mean the suspense thriller novel that was a #1 bestseller?
Oh, so Farina's read it too.
Of course I read it. I've always had a keen interest in artistic works that strike a chord with the populace. I see. It all makes sense now. You must have used most of the budget to pay for the copyright.
Not really. The novel's author transferred the copyright to me practically for free once he heard that I wanted to make a film adaptation of...
He probably just wants to get his name out there. So, Mora isn't the most important thing. It reminds me of a delivery courier who wears one of my designs while traveling all across Teyvat. I didn't charge her much for the outfit either. The exposure she provides for my brand is...
So, are you a big fan of this story, Farina?
Well, it's all right. The pacing of the story is good, but the character relationships could use some. Ahem! Mr. Xavier, if, hypothetically speaking, I agree to be the director, how much freedom would I.
Oh, as much freedom as you would need.
Good! Then I'm free to all.
Absolutely, no problem.
Mohon kerjasamanya Bu Sutradara.
All right. It seems that your crew really.
So, you.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, let's
Although
go.
the pay is well below what someone of my caliber deserves. A great script calls for a great director.
And
I
yes.
mustn't let a perfectly good story be ruined due to lack of funds. If you have fine cheese and bread, you wouldn't just let it sit on the counter and get moldy just because you lack an oven, right?
Terima kasih.
Oh, Hydro Archon above! I'm not dreaming, am I?
There's no more Hydro Archon, you know. And it's still a little early to celebrate. There's a lot that goes into shooting a film. Although the trickiest tasks of finalizing the script and casting the actors have already been taken care of, we'll still need to reserve filming locations. Not to say
Survey,
set
kita
up
survey
lighting
lokasi
and
dulu
props. And by the way, since we'll be filming The Two Musketeers, we'll need to find an action choreographer. Ideally, a
Yes, I've thought about this as well. I was hoping that you might know someone who could handle the job.
Me? If this was before, I could have simply asked Loran. Navia can also use firearms, but unfortunately, her style.
Could we ask the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol?
Oh, you mean the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
Musketeers.
Yes, that's right. They work with muskets every day. I can't think of.
They would be under Nervilette's jurisdiction. Unfortunately, So, in the end, we still have to start by talking to Nervilette.
No need to
Betul.
go to all that trouble. I know their Captain Chevres.
Oh, you do? Wait, Chiori, how do you know the captain of the Special Patrol's Musketeers?
No particular reason. Running a business means dealing with some trouble from time to time, and she's helped me out on a few occasions. In return, I've helped her handle a few situations in which the Special Patrol.
So you're saying there's been times when the Special Patrol needed a fashion designer to handle a situation? Your work is becoming more and more mysterious.
It'd be best to keep it that way. Anyway, enough about that. What do you all think about asking the captain to be our musket action choreographer?
She sounds professional enough. She is a captain after all.
Is
I have no
captain
objections.
But I imagine the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol must.
Well, it just so happens that she's also not the kind of person that's just after Mora. As for whether she has time, I'll have to go and ask her first.
Then I'll leave that to you. Macaroni's on sale today, so I've got to go. You can just tell me how things went when we discuss tomorrow's plan later.
No problem.
No problem.
Having for
Of course. Just wait until the day of our premiere. You'll witness the true power of my name in these lands. You'll be so glad I agreed to help. I can guarantee that even the standing tickets will be sold out. I'll be sure to ask some people I know to see if they'd be willing to act as extra.
Seems like you're finally getting more comfortable with your own reputation now.
I didn't ask for the Clapper Loader's commentary, Paimon.
Rasanya aku tidak minta komentar pemegang Clever.
Then let's get going. I happen to know where Chevres is today.
By the way, I'm curious. If my pay is so low, then what about our two lead actors?
Actually, they told us that they see the trip as part of a cultural exchange, so they didn't ask.
What?
What?
So is every person in Tevat who doesn't want money gathered here to shoot this film? Don't tell me Chiori isn't being paid up.
I already knew Xavier from before, and he's also agreed to give my brand some good exposure.
It seems the gods have really smiled upon you, Xavier. And that certainly doesn't include me, mind you.
Dewata. Woi, ayo woi, pergi woi. Uang. Ih, ada Nana.
All right, this is the place.
Alright, this is the place.
Where's the captain? There's hardly anyone around.
Itu
She's over there. The one with an eye patch reading in front of the newsstand.
with eye.
Oh, her! Paimon could tell there was something different about
Please wait here for a moment. I'll go fetch her. She's working now, so
working. But isn't she just...
just trust me.
Just trust me.
Oh! Alright, let's... Shiori sure is a mysterious person. She claims just to be a fashion...
The court of Fontaine isn't particularly tolerant of visitors from overseas, so it isn't easy for a foreigner to promote their brand here. Even more so in the competitive world of fashion. Even a local like me just trying to make a film has to face all kinds of challenges. So I can only imagine what Shiori has been through to...
Reading on the job?
Reading
Detective
on the-
novel.
One main character?
No. Multiple. Branching storylines.
I see. How's the plot coming along?
One of the main characters is about to make a choice that will affect the rest of his life. I'd wager he's going to make the wrong choice.
Any way to speed things up? There's something I need your help with.
You know that doesn't depend on me. It all comes down to what the character chooses.
Which is exactly why I'm here to help.
Duh, lupa anjir.
All right. It appears he made the wrong choice in the end. Halt!
Huh? What's going on?
Hand over whatever you're holding.
Oh, it's just a book. I didn't buy anything else.
Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind letting me have a look.
Excuse me, officer. I don't mind you standing around here, not purchasing anything, but I'd prefer if you didn't disturb my customers. It's bad for business, you know?
Don't give me that act. You won't be able to get off so easily either. I am Chevras, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. I will say this one last time. Hand over whatever you're holding at once. And before you do anything unwise, let me remind you that I'll have you on the ground before you can even think about making a run for it.
All right. I'll give it to you. But please let me say something first. If there's any contraband in that book, then the shopkeeper here is the one who slipped it in. I don't have anything to do with this.
Why, you trying to leave me on the hook, huh? You were the one who said you wanted it.
Save it for the interrogation room. Take them away, Letelier.
What's going on here? One second you're reading a book and the next you're escorting people away!
And who are... Oh! Aren't you the traveler who's been all over the papers recently? Chiori, I'm assuming what you wanted to ask me about has to do with them, right? Maybe I can let you in on what's happening then. Now that Vache has been brought to justice, no new shipments of synth will be made and distributed to sellers. The Fontaine guards have been busy collecting the remaining synths still circulating on the market. Thanks to a tip from our reliable source here, This should be the very last batch.
Oh, so you were pretending to read a book in order to catch the bad guys! Oh, Paimon almost forgot to introduce ourselves. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler and Xavier!
Hey, I'm Chevraz. You probably already heard me introduce myself, so I won't bother repeating it.
Yeah, why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the chance? Were you worried that my intel wasn't accurate?
No, I wanted to see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first. All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges on him.
He had the whole day to turn the synth over to Chevraz. But instead, the moment I came up and blocked Chevraz's line of sight, he took the opportunity to sell it off.
Yep, he made the wrong choice, even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right choice.
Yeah, I knew. I was just hoping I'd be wrong for once. Enough about that, though. What did you want to ask me about?
Oh, you see, it's like this.
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story. So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the actors?
Yes, that's right. I want to make sure we get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible. However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever we're filming. Also, as for the pay...
No need to say any more. I'll join.
Huh? Just like that?
Dia langsung oke gitu doang.
Really? You're willing to help us with our humble film project?
Sure, it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation here, so I don't have any other tasks on my plate for the moment. Besides, I personally really like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil never get old for me.
Then we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Oh my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Farina immediately. Oh, and I must tell the prop manager and lighting technician to get everything ready. We start filming tomorrow!
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day to finish. Still, I should also head back now and start preparing the actors' costumes and makeup.
Alright, guess that's it for today then.
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have something to tell you.
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first day fishing our producer out of the fountain. He'd better.
Discuss, ayo. Bicara dengan Chevreuse.
So what did you want to tell us, Chevreuse?
Have you read The Two Musketeers?
Belum.
The story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother. They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone. One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered and left dead on the floor. It was quite evident that the culprits were the other members of the baron's household, who never had any kind words to say to them. However, the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. The mother's death was eventually deemed as a suicide, and there was no chance of bringing her murderers to justice. The two siblings decided to flee and someday avenge their mother. Many years later, members of the baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. A rainbow rose was found on each of the victims' bodies, being the flower that the kid's mother liked best. The baron believed that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lived in fear each day. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive and trained day and night, eventually becoming adept musketeers. They used all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues before executing their plan and exacting revenge on the baron. Their actions let the truth behind their mother's death be known to all.
That's quite an exhilarating story.
Yep, the baron got what he deserved for his evil deeds, and justice was able to prevail. It was just the kind of story I enjoy.
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, Chevraz?
You could say it was one of the reasons.
Oh, you mean there were other reasons too?
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or when you lent your hand to resolve our nation's crisis, you've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions. Yes, you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before. There's been a recent murder case involving muskets. The perpetrator's methods appear to be very similar to what is described in the novel.
Huh? Really? But Paimon didn't see anything about that in today's papers.
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public because the investigation is currently at a standstill. The murderer is extremely cautious.
A murder involving firearms? But not that many people use those in Fontaine, right?
Impossible. We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one of the weapons had been fired, it would stick out like a sore thumb. Besides, I trust the members of my platoon. However... Well, that's all I can disclose about the case today.
Huh? What do you mean?
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide tomorrow whether or not you'd like to join the investigation with me. I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but the more capable people we have, the better the chances that justice will prevail. Carrying out investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them is really up to the Marechaussee Phantom. You could say I'm taking part in the investigation out of personal interest. I don't want people to see muskets in a negative way, and also, I'm concerned about the similarity between the crimes and the story.
You mean they might be connected somehow?
I suspect so. Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deal of any kind. It's a request, nothing more. If you two have any interest in the case after we finish filming tomorrow and are willing to assist me, then I would be most grateful.
What do you think, Traveler? Yeah, you're right.
You'd better head back and get some rest. Otherwise,
Tunggu sampai pagi hari berikutnya. Let's go. Gue ada achievement apa nih? Wow, kalahkan 4 musuh dengan overloaded dalam 2 detik sebanyak 10 kali. Kalahkan 4 musuh dengan melt dalam 2 detik sebanyak 5 kali. Wow, udah selesai. Cryo, Hydro, Pyro, dan Elektro. Busetnya gimana ya caranya?
It's finally time to meet up with everyone. Paimon even dreamt of making the film last night.
Let's
If
go,
Paimon remembers right, we're meeting at Hotel de Boer. Let's get going.
Good morning. Xavier said yesterday afternoon went well.
Yeah, and how about you, Ayaka? What were you up to yesterday?
After we split up, Ayato went to see Udex Nervillette at the Palais Marmonia. I was originally thinking of going with him, but he said he could manage it himself. He told me to go see the sights around Fontaine and to enjoy the local culture. So I rode the aquabus with Yoimiya and visited the opera house on Aranias Island.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what we saw there! 2 mechanical puppets that were dancing together! You've already seen them, right? Yeah, those 2! Amazing, aren't they?
We sat and watched for quite a while. It was mesmerizing.
Oh, it was the same for us the first time we saw them too!
Afterwards, we went swimming at the beach! Well, diving, to be exact. It was the first time I ever breathed underwater. I held Ayaka's hand and we counted down together. 3, 2, 1, and then splash! We were beneath the waves.
Seng-sengku pada rukun ya.
At first, I didn't dare to open my mouth. But once I couldn't hold my breath any longer, I decided to take a big breath in. Turns out the water wasn't as salty as I imagined. It didn't really taste like anything at all. Before I knew it, I was breathing like normal down there. It was an amazing feeling. Ayaka said I was too nervous and needed to loosen my grip. She got used to everything way faster than I did.
I knew that the Traveler could do it, so I had no doubt we could do it too. That helped me feel at ease as soon as we dove in. The underwater world in Fontaine truly is beautiful. I love seeing the romaritime flowers blossoming underwater, like little candles lighting up the streets at night.
Yeah, and there were so many creatures that we've never seen in Inazuma. Like those fish that shimmer like a sword blade. Whoosh! Oh, and those big fish that call when they see people.
Oh, you mean Hunter's Rays and Blubber Beasts!
I just love the name Blubber Beast. Just wait till Pops and the others hear about this. They probably won't believe a word I say.
Yoimiya was down there for quite a while. It was dark before we finally rode the aquabus back to the city. I figured she'd want to sleep in today.
Yeah, even I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get up. I still felt like I was drifting in the waves when I went, but as soon as I woke up today, I remembered that we...
Speaking of the film, where's everybody else?
My brother and Xavier were speaking to the restaurant owner about using the place as a filming location. As for the others, they... We're here.
You are here.
Please excuse my tardiness. I just finished the Special Patrol's 6-mile morning jog.
Lari dulu.
Wait, 6 miles?
10 kilo jogging.
I'm so tired.
Aduh, seng-seng
I heard you all chatting, so I decided to come down.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Can someone fetch me a cup of coffee?
Sure, I'd be happy to do that for you. No, you can't go anywhere. Please, have a seat over here so I can get started on your makeup. The last thing I want is...
I can get the coffee. It's the perfect job for an assistant.
Aja Yomiya jadi asistennya Furina.
So much energy. Seriously, what's her secret? Oh, Yoimiya's always like that. But you sure look exhausted, Farina. It's because you're not used to waking up so early, huh? Of course not. I spent the whole night reading the novel from cover to cover, marking sections that either need to be omitted or... Wow. Paimon didn't expect you to be so thorough. Well, I was the biggest star in all of Fontaine after all. It takes more than just a pretty face to earn a reputation like that. I know how to get serious when the situation calls for it. I went all out when I was acting as an Archon, so why wouldn't I do the same for my own life?
Here's your coffee, Director Farina.
Ting ding ting 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 ding ding ding. Salah masukin nih.
Oh, thank you. The sound of being called director and the aroma of coffee feels almost as refreshing as hearing the birds chirping in the morning.
It seems everyone has managed to arrive on time.
We've reached an agreement with the restaurant owner. We are free to use the second floor to shoot our film.
Really? That's great!
He is really looking forward to our film, and hopes that providing his restaurant as a filming location will attract more customers.
Well then, Mr. Xavier, I'll leave the rest to you.
Okay, thanks. First, I'd like to introduce our new members. This is our prop manager, Veronique. She'll be in charge of all the film's props and items. And this is Bono, our lighting technician. He'll be in charge of lighting and illumination.
Wow. Sure feels like we have some
First of all, please allow me to first express my sincerest gratitude to everyone in the crew. When my investor informed me yesterday that he wouldn't be able to provide the funds, I really thought that this was the nail in the coffin for this film. I had no idea that I'd find so many people willing to help me on such short notice. Thank you. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
No need to be so cordial, Mr. Xavier. We're all honored to be a part of this.
Your works made a profound impression on me when I saw them back in Inazuma. I am sure that someday, this film will be remembered as a prime example of cultural exchange between Fontaine and Inazuma.
Yes, the story is the reason I agreed to join. I can't bear to even imagine what this film would look like without the very best director.
Anyway, I would like to make a promise to everyone that as the producer of this film, I'll do whatever I can to ensure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. This is not just my film. It also embodies the thoughts and feelings of every person here, as well as the endless effort we are about to pour into it. So, without further ado, The Two Musketeers will officially begin filming now! You may take it from here, Director Farina.
All right, listen up, everyone. The first scene takes... Whoa. Is everyone clear? All right. Not the kind of way... Seems like she's still a bit traumatized by that. Anyway, let's go see if there's anything we can do to help.
Di antara fiksi dan realita, di dalam dan di luar bingkai. Sudah selesai kan? Sekarang lanjut ke Act 2. Ada berapa primogem? Baru sih ini anjing. Udah 1600. What the hell? 3.600 kurang 361 1239 lagi butuh primogem. Apakah bisa? Teori.
Ayaka has mentioned you to me before. She said that you two were great friends when you were kids.
No talking. I'm thinking about how to do your eyeshadow.
Ah, yes. To help me really look the part.
To achieve a more young and naive look for this scene.
Are you saying the wrinkles around my eyes are too deep?
You just have too much of a calculating look in your eyes.
You sure don't mince your words. It seems you really haven't changed much.
Quiet.
How about here?
A little more to the left.
You got it.
Hey, Yoimiya, do you need a hand?
No, I'm fine. You know, doing the lighting is kind of like designing a fireworks show. It's interesting to imagine what kind of atmosphere the lights will create. I heard that the Traveler will be operating the camera and Paimon will be the clapper loader, right? Those roles are just perfect for the two of you.
Really? Is that because it'll be easy for Paimon to hold the clapperboard while flying?
Well, sure, there's that, but that's not exactly what I meant. I just think that after all your journeys together, you two must have developed a super close bond and just naturally know how to work with each other. If I'm not mistaken, the director will want the cameras rolling as soon as the clapperboard goes clack. Oh, I see! It's amazing to see the magic behind filmmaking.
Yoimiya, we need lights over there too.
Oh, on it! I've got to get back to work. Chat with you later. Oh, it's exciting to see so many people working together to bring the film to life.
Seems like Yoimiya's really getting into it. But she was right. We do have a super close bond, don't we? Paimon's really happy to hear that.
Bersiap-siap untuk syuting.
So, this is a real musket?
No, it's just a prop weapon.
Not bad. Have you seen a real musket before?
Only in books and newspapers. I made this one based on the relative shape and proportions I saw in reference images. When we're filming, some special gunpowder will be applied around the muzzle, which will help create the flash and smoke effects of a real gun being fired.
Which means it'll be up to the actors to portray the recoil.
That's right. The sound effects for gunshots will also be added in post-production.
Thank you, Veronique. I think I know where to start now. However, the musket's gears and firing pin could still use some work. Adding some wear on the metallic components will make them appear more realistic. Also, be sure to rub the muskets with some oil each time before we start shooting. That'll give the impression that the firearms have been well maintained.
Good point.
You seem to know a lot, Miss Chevres. I assume you use these types of firearms on a regular basis?
Yes, I perform routine maintenance on my weapons every day. Just like we as people need to eat and sleep,
I also perform similar care for my sword every day, and familiarize myself with its shape and weight.
To the point where it feels like a natural extension of my body.
Yes. This way, our weapons will never betray us in the heat of battle.
Yes, well said. It seems...
Oh, sounds like they found a common interest to talk about.
Though these props differ from the muskets I use, I can still give you some pointers.
good. I look forward to your instruction.
First and foremost, never point the weapon at anyone, regardless of whether it's a real or prop weapon, or whether you're holding it or it's on the table. This holds for any time when you're not actively engaging an enemy.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
When aiming the
understood.
musket, extend your arm so that it's level with your shoulder, and use your eye to look down the weapon's sights.
Like this?
Not bad. Now, try saying your lines.
This is the end of the road for you.
Good. Now turn your body a little. That way, you'll give your enemy less of a target to work with. And this is the end of the road for you.
Huh. Excuse me, Miss Chiori. Director Farina, there's something I wish to discuss with you.
Oh? What is it?
What is it?
Like this?
Yes, much better.
What do you think?
I do.
I believe it would be most fitting.
Well, if you insist. All right. Miss Ayaka, Miss Chevris, could the two of you please come over here?
Come over here.
What's going on? Are we gonna start filming now?
Let's go see.
What is it?
I have a question for you, Miss Chevris. Would you be willing to play the role of a musketeer?
What?
What?
To clarify, I would like to turn over my role to Miss Chevris.
But brother...
Don't worry, Ayaka. I was becoming troubled trying to set aside some time to speak to the staff at the Palais Mermonia. I would like to have some conversations about the cultural exchange between our two countries. Now, I will be able to focus on my work. Besides, you also know that I'm not really one for public performances.
Are you really sure?
From a director's point of view, I also felt like the relationship between the two musketeers in the original story could be improved. The older brother in the story plays the lead role with his overbearing character, but this causes his character to overshadow that of his sister. But if we were to change the siblings to two sisters of a similar age, also, I've seen you instructing Ayaka. That cold and dignified personality is exactly what we need for the older musketeer.
Of course, even with all these insights, the decision should still be made by Miss Chevris.
Chevros mentioned that she really likes the story, right? Paimon bets that she'll take the role.
All right, I'll take the role.
Alright.
Good. It's decided then. I'll get started on making edits to the script. We'll also need to make some immediate adjustments to the lighting, props, and costumes. I have a feeling that our adaptation will be even...
You're doing a great favor for me, Miss Chevris. You have my gratitude.
Don't mention it. I like this character, so if anything, I should be the one thanking you.
Well, since my brother is the one who brought up the idea, I suppose there's... Let's go, Miss Chevris. I look forward to working with you.
Please, just call me Chevris.
Severus.
Seems like you're really going out of your way to solve the problem I was having with your makeup.
Surely you jest, Chiori. I assure you that I was mostly motivated by a desire to spend more time on formal business.
Oh, come on. You really think I'd buy that? According to what I've heard from Ayaka, her brother is someone who can juggle 10 different matters at the same time. I'm sure you have other reasons.
Perhaps. Ayaka always said she wanted to go out and see more of the world, just like the Traveler. But I feel that she needs not only to see other nations, but also to make some different kinds of friends. I think it would be harder for her to make new connections with me constantly by her side. I would
All right, go on. Spoil her some more.
Ayato! It's too bad you're stepping down from the role. Paimon really wanted to see you act as a musketeer.
No need to poke fun at me. I'd wager that you...
fun to imagine you.
Yes. I've made an appointment to meet some people from the Palais Mermonia. Now,
Traveler, get the camera ready. Paimon, get the
Traveler,
clapperboard.
camera ready.
Actors, to your positions. We're about to start shooting the first scene.
Let's go.
go on now. And please take good.
Yep, don't worry.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing the film when it's finished.
All right, now that we're all here, let me help set the scene for everyone. The first scene takes place when our two main characters are still living at the Baron's estate. They've been ostracized, and verbally Chevris will be playing the role of the older sister, Tulip, and Ayaka will be the younger sister, Iris. Be sure to get close-ups of the main characters at the right moment. Silence on the set! Lights, camera, action!
Let's go!
Live camera action.
Tulip, Mother's been out for quite a while now.
And yeah.
Perhaps she went to pick some flowers on the way home. You know how she loves
behind
flowers.
shoulder.
Iris, Tulip, I'm home!
Mother! You were out for so long, we were beginning to worry about you.
I'm sorry, but I'm back now, safe and sound.
Mother, what are those bruises on your hand?
Huh? What bruises? Oh, I must have bumped into something while I was working yesterday.
But I didn't notice them this morning.
Then perhaps they're from when I accidentally tripped when I was out just. By the way, did you have fun playing at home? What's the matter, Iris?
Well, we've
Jadi-
realized that
jadi
no
direct-
one really
jadi
wants to play with us.
DOP.
They even took Iris's doll and spat at us.
And they even called us names. They said we were...
Shh. It's all right. Don't worry. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Don't listen to them. No one can define you with such words. You both have wonderful lives ahead of you. Just like your names. You will both blossom like beautiful flowers. Maybe your time to blossom hasn't quite come yet. But one day, you two will bloom more beautifully than any. Don't let the soil you're in now ruin your future beauty. Understand? My dear daughters. And cut!
And cut.
Not bad. The actors' emotions were all on point. Let's keep that take. Also, if our clapper loader could avoid shouting at the start of the scene next time.
Oh, got it.
Great. I was a little worried that my nerves would get the...
I felt fine. The lines weren't too difficult at all. Seems like Farina must have adapted the role.
You two were great. I couldn't tell it was your first time acting in a film. You should have more.
Thank you for your encouragement.
Positions, everyone! We'll move on to the next scene after we try a... This scene is when our two characters return home, only to discover their mother has been murdered.
Apa? Dibunuh.
Ready? Lights! Camera! Action!
Likes, camera, action.
Mother, we're back. Mother?
Mother.
What's wrong, Tulip?
Iris, stay away!
Huh? Why? What's... Mother! Mother... She's...
There's poison in this cup.
Huh? I could have sworn I've seen this kind of...
Those aristocrats. They didn't even try.
No. Jangan menangis.
Iris, we need to leave this place.
Jangan menangis.
But now that Mother is gone, where can we even go?
anywhere. All I know is that we can't stay in this house.
But are we just going to let them get away with this?
We'll have our revenge, I promise you. Just not right now. Come on, let's go.
Come on. Let's go.
No, wait. We can't just leave Mother here like this. At least let me leave this rose with her. That's why we went out in the first place. To buy her this—
All right. Goodbye, Mother. We'll look—
And cut! Beautiful! Great perform. Oh my, you're so amazing, Ayaka! And were those real tears?
I was surprised too.
Thank you for the kind compliments. Actually, as soon as Director Farina said action, I told myself not to think about anything. It's quite similar to practicing the art of the sword. You clear your mind and focus only on what's happening in front of you.
Ayaka's performance was amazing. Have I discovered an acting prodigy? Pipe down, everyone! We need to move on to the next scene!
Ya istirahat.
Ready? But I'm... How do you feel, Traveler? Is your arm sore from holding the camera all day?
Good work, you two.
You too, Shivers. You were quite the actress today.
I've read this novel many times before. I have a good Anyway, do you remember my request?
Oh, right! We were having so much fun that You have a case where the murders seem really similar to
In the story, the main characters grow up to become two musketeers, always using their guns to carry out their revenge. And on each of the victims, they place a rainbow rose as a signal that they've returned. Yes, that's correct. We found rainbow roses just like in the novel.
Oh, that does sound pretty concerning, especially after seeing the script today. Oh, now Paimon can't... what do you think, Traveler? You're smart.
Good. On behalf of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, thank you. There's no time to lose. We should start
Huh? Right now...
The most valuable intel always comes after nightfall. They are like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea. That's how one of my favorite books always puts it.
So, where are we going right now?
Let's start by checking out some workshops that sell
Jauh banget ini 200 meter. Sis.
Welcome to LeChaux's Clockwork Workshop. How can I help you?
Hello. I'd like to know if anyone has purchased some special components lately.
Special components? Sorry, could you be more specific?
I mean the kind of components that aren't typically used for clockwork toys, but for firearms.
Huh? For firearms? No, we don't sell those sort of things here.
Don't misunderstand. I'm not here to cause any trouble. We are merely investigating a case, and we're hoping that you could cooperate.
Well, to be completely honest, I'm not even sure what kind of components that would entail.
Has anyone ever purchased components here as an individual rather than on behalf of an organization?
We have a lot of customers who buy toys, but those who buy components are all regular customers who buy in bulk on behalf of their organization.
Is that so? I understand. Thank you for your cooperation.
You're welcome. It's the least I can do.
Pergi ke bengkel. Hah, bengkel.
Oh, hey, Chevris. Run out of oil for your musket?
Hello, Estelle. I want to know if anyone has come to your shop recently.
Oh, is this another case? Let me think. I don't think so. Some people have requested that I make some prop guns for the Fontanalia.
Oh? Why's that?
Because there's no profit. I only make things here that can do some real heavy lifting.
Then has anybody come specifically looking for mechanical components?
Well, I usually sell off my scrap to the Fleuve Cendre.
I understand. Thanks for your...
Don't mention it. Always happy to have the musketeers.
Seems like we haven't found any
Yeah, unfortunately.
Huh? Are you sure?
You think so, huh? That...
Huh? No.
That I grew up in Fleuve Cendre.
Fleuve Cendre. Di bawah tuh.
Hello, I'd like to ask some questions.
I don't know anything.
Don't worry, I'm not here to arrest anybody.
You say that now.
It's the truth. Here, take this as my guarantee.
Wait, did Paimon just see what she thinks she saw? Is the captain of the special patrol bribing a citizen?
Seems you're different from the other guards. What do you want to know?
Have you heard anything related to muskets in Fleuve?
Muskets, huh? All I know is that about 2 weeks ago, we started hearing some loud noises at...
Were they gunshots?
Possibly. It's hard to tell if someone's house collapsing.
Do you know where the noises were coming from?
I don't remember clear...
Is it that you don't remember?
You tell me.
Then please, think about it.
She's giving her even more Mora!
The noises came from the end of the Southern Waterway. I came out and had a look for myself and I wasn't sleeping well, but I didn't dare get too close. That's all I know.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Thanks for the pâte de fruits.
Pâte de fruits.
No need to be surprised. I grew up here, remember? I know how to get people around here to talk. My apologies, I'm all out of sweets. Though I do have some other tempting snacks in my custody. But taking care of junk food is my responsibility. You're better off sticking to your normal, nutritious diet. Now then, let's keep
Ini
going.
banyak banget makanannya. Beli.
It's been a while, Tetro.
Please, just get on with your...
I want to know if you've heard anybody talking about musk...
Information isn't free, you know.
I've heard that bandits have been extremely active in the countryside recently, and they've been affecting the delivery of goods to Poisson. I could...
You're still as helpful as ever. One of our men got drunk at dinner about a month ago and lost his gun. 3 days later, it turned up in the corner here.
What's weird about that? He just forgot where he put it, right?
This is Fleuve Cendre, my friend. Anything of value left in the tavern won't ever make it to the next day. But that gun turned out to be an exception. It didn't get any new wear and tear on it. and didn't even appear to have been fired. We were quite mystified as to what could have happened.
I suspect it came back because the weapon was already known to the guards.
You mean, a criminal was afraid the Marechaussee Phantom would use the shot marks to track them down? Maybe. But if that's the case, the culprit really took great care to avoid getting caught.
I didn't say anything about a criminal.
In Fleuve Cendra, knowing who was killed is as easy as knowing what clothes you're wearing today. It's the guy living in the East Side, isn't it? I've never liked him. Every time he's here, he just orders a drink and sits there with a nasty look in his eyes.
So, who was the one who lost the gun in the first place?
Don't bother. Even if you ask, he wouldn't admit to owning a gun to some strangers. Not to mention the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
He's right.
I know you grew up here, Chevres. Even though you're on good terms with the Spina, you've still been gone too long. Not many people know you here now, and a lot of people don't like the Special Patrol.
I know.
So take my advice and don't show your face too much around here. It's for your own safety.
I'll come and go as I please, and I'm afraid I'll be appearing more often due to my work.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Gimana cara ke sana? Lewat sana. Woi, lewat mana mas? Selidiki di Fleuve Cendra.
What's all this? Some broken planks and barrels, as well as some...
Yes, but have a closer look, Paimon. Even though somebody has purposefully tried to clean them up, these are obviously marks from musket bullets. In other words, someone was here trying to improve their shot.
Could it have been the kill?
Your guess is as good as mine. Although many people at Fleuve Cendra own guns, few hide the fact from others. And even fewer would go to... Anyway, let's go. There might be... Seems like that's all we'll be able to uncover for...
Paimon feels like we managed to learn a lot more here than...
Yes. Assuming that a month ago, in the following weeks, then, a few days ago, he found his target and carried out the murder.
That all makes sense to Paimon, but...
The deceased was a resident of Fleuve Cendra. Yeah, that's also something. If we are indeed following the novel, and there's a story behind the murder, then this murder should be an act of... He was no saint, but no one's heard of a rival who hated him enough to shoot him dead. Much less care to leave a rose on his... What message is the killer trying to convey? And to whom? We've thoroughly investigated that possibility. He claims to have spent the whole day...
Okay, so he has an alibi.
Not only that, he lacks a credible motive as well.
Alibi.
He has a family of his own, and both of his parents are still alive. I've looked into his records. In the story, the mother of the two musketeers was murdered after the children turned 10. Of course, he could... More importantly, I've also had a chat with him in person.
Then, what should we do now?
Investigations take time. I didn't expect us to catch the culprit in just a... How about this? Let's spend the next few days filming with the crew. We can continue the investigation once we're done with the film.
Wait, but weren't you saying Intel is like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea just a moment?
But the book had more than one reference to the islands, Paimon.
Oh? What else?
As long as you spend enough time sailing through the fog, you'll eventually come across an island.
Bersambung. "12 jam, 2 hari." Sudah semuanya cuy.
Shower me with praise.
Tunggu sampai besok. Kita ke graveyard. Dapat Kiki kemarin tuh jam 4 pagi anjir. Kemarin hari ini maksudnya. Ya sukrosku udah cek. Makanya petanda baik, Mas. Shit. Sheesh. Sukros gue udah C6 coy.
Take it easy.
Sama. Apakah kuat di look level 60 dengan stat kayak gini melawan? Ice wine sweet.
Solidify! Order guide you!
How brilliant! Let my name echo in song!
Gotcha. Game's up. Fun's over.
Time for retribution! Stabilize!
Busted.
Let the world collide!
Verdict is... Gather!
Things are about to get dicey.
Time for retribution!
My flame!
Ah, mati, Cok. Boleh. Crit damage anjir. OP banget ya. Lalu ada
Strike a pose!
nggak kuat ternyata makin hidup cuy.
Oh, is it time for me to join you?
Yes.
Silly chirp.
Suatu di Jogja.
Yeah!
One minute. Sebanyak defense.
Every journey has its
Ya udah.
final.
Ya berak. Nah, coba ya kita makan ya. Fontinalia.
Gather!
Game's up. Fun's over. Quietly.
Yoo-hoo! Let my name echo in song! Higher, higher, hands on fire!
Damn. Why so easy?
More data samples.
$700.000 anjing. Udah ya? Udah ya? Lawan siapa lagi ya? Nazuma kali. Malas melawan Raiden.
You're trembling. Is it the cold or just cowardice?
Sigmura.
Things are about to get dicey. Busted.
Strike a pose! Let the world collide!
The Tsaritsa's benevolence has no place for transgressors.
Stabilize!
Mana, Cok? Skip.
This is order.
May I?
Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Go!
Embrace your searing reckoning.
Dance!
Solidify!
Embrace your searing reckoning. Not every wound.
Time to shine! Cross over!
Stabilize!
Busted.
Gather!
No way.
Stabilize!
Game's up. Fun's over.
I never asked for redemption. Never.
I never asked for redemption.
time again. Our schedule is jam-packed for the next couple of days, too. We've got so many different locations and sets to cover.
Sepertinya kita
Anyway,
sudahin
let's
dulu
head
live
out,
stream
meet up
kali
with the
ini.
others.
Karena capek cuy, mau makan. Oke guys, see you again in another stream.
Sunlight, but when the moon's out,
See you again.